Hanzo Hasashi, his wife, son, and newborn daughter are all contentedly residing at their compound in Japan in 1617. The abrupt death of a villager frightens them as he leaves to fetch water from the well. When Baihan, the murderer, breaks into Hanzo's home, the wife hides the baby beneath the floor and tries to flee with her kid but is apprehended. Baihan threatens them by using his power to cast ice from his body. After hearing his wife scream, Hanzo dashes back to his house. He discovers his family members frozen to death, but it is too late. A number of assassins appear, but the distraught Hanzo dispatches them with ease. He takes the kunai and kills each of Baihan's soldiers individually after realizing that the assassins are still coming. He discovers that Baihan has been waiting for him when he pursues him. Baihan uses his kunai to stab Hanzo in the stomach during their altercation. The assassin wins the battle after driving the kunai deep into Hanzo's shoulder. He tries to crawl toward the home, but he passes away before he can get to her. A dragon-shaped mark appears on his arm as the body burns. Hanzo's daughter is taken with Lord Raiden. There is writing stating that if Earthrealm loses the next tournament, Outworld will completely overrun them and endanger their existence. The chosen champions, who are all descended from Hanzo Hasashi, are Earthrealm's only hope. In the present, Cole Young is a competitor in an MMA competition and puts up a fierce fight against his opponent. But after a while, he is assaulted and passes out before being strangled to unconsciousness. Following the battle, Jax Briggs confronts Cole, who is with his daughter Emily, after noticing that the fighter bears a dragon mark that resembles Hanzo's. He asserts that there is nothing unique about it, that it is simply a birthmark. In Outworld, Baihan, now Sub-Zero, confronts Shang Tsung, his master, who is concerned about the prophecy. He persuades his master that since Hanzo and his entire family were wiped out decades ago, they won't lose the competition. Prior to the tournament starting, Shang gives Sub-Zero the command to travel to Earthrealm and eliminate every last champion. Suddenly, snow begins to fall as Cole and his wife Allison take their daughter out to supper. In any case, they are confused by the fact that it is still July. Sub-Zero appears from a distance and begins assaulting others in the vicinity, while the table surrounding Emily begins to freeze. Fortunately, Jax saves the family by chasing the assassin away. He displays the identical dragon mark on his body to convince Cole that he has been selected for the fight. After telling Cole to take his family to safety, Jax leaves to confront Sub-Zero and advises him to locate Sonya Blade. After luring him to an abandoned structure, Sub-Zero uses his power to freeze Jax's rifle. The assassin is simply too strong for Jax, who freezes and breaks both of his arms in the process, killing him. Cole goes to Sonya's place after dropping his family off at a safe home. However, it turns out that Shang and his men have been dispatching assassins before the tournament even begins, which is a constant kind of cheating. When Cole gets to a junkyard, Sonya fights him at first, but he reveals the dragon mark to her. She confesses that Jax got his mark after defeating a man who had it as she brings Cole inside her container. When a man murders the mark holder, it is immediately transferred to him. She also brings up Mortal Kombat, an old-fashioned competition between realms and species. Cole is then introduced to Sonya's captured mercenary, Kano, who also bears a mark. A few seconds later, they are attacked by an invisible lizard that has broken into the container. Because its saliva is acidic, Kano takes advantage of this to free himself. By removing the monster's heart from its chest, he defeats the lizard and ends the battle. Since the attack destroyed all of her research, Sonya is in a precarious situation. Kano is aware of the woman's attempt to reach Raiden's temple and is aware of its precise location. The mercenary accepts Sonya's $3 million offer after she deceives him and offers to lead her and Cole to the temple. They fly into the desert in Cole's friend's plane and use parachutes to fall out. Following a lengthy stroll, Liu Kang, one of the temple's champions, comes up to them and displays his firepower. He takes them to the temple, where they view artwork depicting past Earthrealm and Outworld competitions. Liu Kang insists that the training must begin right away, since the winners will lose the competition if they are unable to find their inner strength. Then, while the monks in the temple are healing the dying Jax, Sonya encounters him. Lord Raiden is then presented with all of the remaining Earthrealm champions by Liu Kang, but he is not pleased with their caliber. He reveals that Outworld has won a tournament 9 times in a row, and that if they lose the final one, all of humanity would be forced into slavery. Suddenly, Sub-Zero arrives at the temple and battles Liu Kang. To help his cousin with his steel headgear, Kung Lao arrives. Melina and Shang Tsung also arrive to launch an attack, but Raiden steps in and blocks the Outworld advance with a lightning barrier. The training to release Cole and Kano's inner power, or arcana, starts as soon as the enemies depart. However, as Sonya lacks the dragon mark on her body, she is not permitted to participate. When Jax eventually wakes up, he finds that his arms are now mechanical. Cole engages in combat with the fighter Kung Lao, but he is swiftly defeated. Liu Kang also kicks Kano in the ass. Kung Lao and Liu Kang become impatient with Kano's constant trash-talking during the champion's supper, reprimanding him as a helpless dog with no talent. Offended, Kano is thrilled with his new power and abruptly unleashes his arcana by shooting a laser beam directly from his right eye. Although the dragon mark indicates that Cole is descended from Hanzo's bloodline, specifically from the baby Raiden saved at the start of the film, Raiden confronts Cole the following day after training, claiming that he is a useless champion and will be a liability without his arcana. When Cole gives up, Raiden sends him back to his family through a portal. For the impending tournament, Shang Tsung in Outworld assembles additional combatants, including Knit-Era, Cable, Reiko, and Prince Goro. Cable offers a strategy to get beyond Raiden's barrier, but turns out that he harbors a personal vengeance against Kano. Cable contacts Kano in secret in the temple and offers him a large sum of money in exchange for him joining Shang Tsung's army and tricking the champions. Accepting the offer, he uses his laser to eliminate the barrier's source. Kano is already with Shang Tsung's soldiers when they arrive at the temple. Jax struggles against Reiko, but loses. When Cable gets close to Liu Kang, the fight is evenly matched. Melina stabs Sonya with his knife during their fight, but since Sonya is not a champion, her death will be pointless, so she chooses not to kill her. Then Kano appears and tries to use a boulder to smash her. Jax enables him to upgrade his artificial arms in an attempt to assist Sonya. He saves her by lifting the boulder. Knit-Era steps in to stop Kung Lao from using his hat to assault Shang Tsung. His composure allows him to get rid of the gargoyle. Goro, meanwhile, shows up in Earthrealm and pursues Cole and his family. Cole fights the four-handed orc, but he is overpowered. The orc then attempts to attack Ali and Emily. Feeling the need to protect his family, Cole unlocks his arcana, which covers his body with golden armor and allows him to create blades to help him fight Goro. Cole uses the blade to kill the orc after successfully chopping off one of its arms. The Hasashi bloodline is still alive, as Raiden reveals when he calls Cole back to the temple after realizing that. Raiden tries to use his power to expel the champions from the temple, but Kung Lao is left behind, and Shang Tsung kills him by sucking out his soul, making Liu Kang watch. When they reach the vacuum, the Outworld baddies are unable to find them. When Raiden explains that all gods are prohibited from interfering in the conflict, Liu Kang loses hope. After that, he suggests that Cole utilize Hanzo's kunai, which was found after his passing. Cole recommends that they divide up and engage in a one-on-one duel with the villains. While Liu Kang and Cole take on Melina and Cable, Jax rematches with Reiko. Jax is better prepared this time and is able to defend himself. He kills Reiko with the last blow after mercilessly punching him. Sonya and Kano rematch in her container on the opposite side. Eventually, she hurls an acetone bottle at him, momentarily deactivating his laser ability. They are both flung out of the window as the altercation goes on. Kano's marking is transferred to Sonya after she ultimately defeats him. Returning to Liu Kang and Cole, the battle is fierce, with both of them trading blows and slashes with their opponents. However, Liu Kang ultimately summons a fire dragon, which devours Cable and completely burns him. Using her newly acquired arcana strength, Sonya travels to help Cole and instantly kills Melina with a plasma blast. Ali and Emily are abducted by Sub-Zero when he shows up to Cole's family hideout. Sub-Zero entices Cole to a building. He freezes his family to death. Cole battles the most formidable assassin. However, the villain is still too strong for him. Hanzo is raised from hell and uses his weapon to hit Sub-Zero after Cole's blood comes into contact with the kunai. Hanzo adopts the name Scorpion this time. They fight as Cole uses his ability to try to save his wife and children. Now, with Cole's assistance, it's a 2-on-1 battle. They both successfully corner the assassin and use the chain to trap him. Scorpion opens his mask, telling the villain that he controls hell and burns Sub-Zero to death. Ali and Emily are rescued, and before disappearing, Scorpion thanks Cole for freeing him and orders him to keep his bloodline alive. When Raiden and the others finally show up, The Thunder God is pleased to see that Sub-Zero has been vanquished. Shortly later, Shang Tsung arrives to collect the combatants' and assassins' bodies. Raiden returns him to Outworld when he threatens the Earthrealm champions that he will return with additional soldiers. He informs the champions that although they have won today, the adversaries are still out there, and they need to assemble and train another champion. Cole is seen at the gym at the end of the film, telling the promoter that he is leaving and heading to Hollywood to find love. Then the camera moves to reveal Cole's target,